People praying for me, telling me to keep going, that this is a ray of hope for many of them who had been crushed by our government. I didn't realize how many people had been hurt and destroyed by our government, by people in this uniform that has sworn to protect them and their families. And I realized then that tyranny cannot come to the door of any American unless it comes in uniform, folks. So with these letters coming in, God just blessed me and gave me a positive attitude again, and I was able to smile again and lift my head up. And the persecution just kept coming and coming. And I decided that people kept asking me, write more, write more, write more. And I told them, I can't write. I don't know how to use the English language. I just can't do this. And I prayed to the Lord. I said, Lord, you know I can't do this, Lord. Get somebody else. And I opened the Bible one night. And there was another. There was another that told Lord, I can't do it. Get somebody else, Lord. I can't go into that town, Lord, and talk to those people. I'm tongue-tied, Lord. Get somebody else. And you know what the Lord said. Go forward and I'll give you the words. So I started to write. It was bad, folks. I'm telling you, it was bad. It was bad. God sent me an angel. God sent me Theresa Hubner, who's at that back table. And she read over my work and helped me correct it. And she gave it to her husband, Bob, and he helped me correct it. And we corrected and corrected and corrected. But I wrote it from the heart, and they corrected it, and we sent it out across America. And police officers and soldiers and their wives and children were helping us print these up and distribute them more and more. Ripples, folks, ripples. Where did it come from? One little 85-year-old man of the last years of his life, perhaps, reached out one more time with one word, one little piece of paper, one little newsletter, one little constitution, and handed it to somebody. He reached out one time more. How many years has he been doing this? I can't tell you. But out of that was born Aid and Abet Police Newsletter, Constitutional Issues for Lawmen. And it went across this nation and is still going by leaps and bounds, thanks to you folks getting these copies and handing them out to every police officer, every soldier you can find. And they're writing to us saying, Jack, we're having terrible problems. We can't sleep at night because of the things we're being asked to do to our fellow countrymen, and we don't feel good about it. What can we do? And praise God, I'm able to tell them from experience what they can do. And the ripples continue, because it was, by the way, I was called into the police chief's office one day, and they said, Officer McLamb, we're going to give you a direct order that you will come in and turn in your national mailing list of the police officers on your mailing list, and you will turn in your financial records for Aid and Abet Police Newsletter. And I said, Assistant Chief, I said, I can't do that. You know I can't do that. I made a pact. I made a vow with these police officers because of the persecution I have been under from you folks, that I would never give their name, because they would be subjected to perhaps the same persecution for them studying the Constitution and trying to uphold their oath of office. I cannot do that. And the chief looked at me with kind of a sneer on his face, and he said, Jack, I'm making it a direct order. You will turn in that national mailing list of those police officers, and you will turn in your financial records, and you'll have them here tomorrow. I said, Chief, I can tell you right now the answer. And I pulled out my little Constitution. And I went to the First Amendment of the Bill of Rights. And I said, under the First Amendment and the Fourth Amendment, I will not give you that mailing list, and I will not help you persecute these fellow officers. And that day, folks, I was fired for the first time from the profession I love so much, and it had blessed me and gave me such an infilling of helping people every day. A police officer gets that feeling every day of being there once in a while when we can really do you some good, when we can pick you up and comfort you. I didn't want to lose that, folks. I didn't want to make waves. I wanted to keep that job. It's the best job I ever had in my life. I wanted to give him that list. I did, because I knew if I violated a direct order, I would be fired, but I couldn't do it. So I was fired that day, but a very liberal civil service board in the city of Phoenix called me in, and they said, Jack, tell us why you were fired. And this was a liberal civil service board, but they believed in the First Amendment to the Bill of Rights. Lawyer sitting on the board was the Arizona Bar Association president. That's how liberal this board of hearing was. And when it was all done, after 2 days of hearings, they called in the police department and they tried to show what a despicable officer I was and a horrible officer I was. And of course, when I produced my files of all my awards and commendations from the city and everything, Civil Service Board knew that I was fired for exercising my First Amendment rights. And they voted unanimously to send me back to work with full back pay.